economic development. Did you know that his reign as Chief Minister, or during his reign as Chief Minister, Edward Oliver Leblanc was instrumental in promoting the traditional dances of Dominica and the independence celebrations in 1965 and established November 3rd as Dominica's National Day, now known as Independence Day. And did you know that Edward Oliver Leblanc died peacefully at his home on the 29th of October, 2004 at the age of 81? One of Dominica's national heroes, Edward Oliver Leblanc. I will focus this morning on Did You Know, made possible compliments your nation station, DBS Radio. Up next, we bring you the DBS Major Morning News.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is throwing his support behind electoral reform proposals for state entities to provide coverage to all political parties and independent candidates. In news from the region, the United Nations chief has warned that gangs could overrun Haiti's capital without additional support. And on the international scene, the U.S. President Donald Trump issues more pardons. Good morning, I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
Ho, ho, ho! Soft Weave has something special for you. Introducing Soft Weave's new Christmas design paper towel. Now this is your chance to win big for the season. Purchase Soft Weave's Christmas design paper towels and get a chance to win one of 9 amazing prizes. Prizes include $1,000 cash, $500 cash, shopping vouchers, hams, and turkeys. Ho, ho, ho! So hurry now. Grab your Soft Weave Christmas design paper towels and win big. Make this season merry and mess-free. Soft Weave Christmas Edition. Promotion ends January 31st. See in stores for details.
Terms and conditions apply.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this morning, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is throwing his support behind electoral reform proposals for state entities to provide coverage to all political parties and independent candidates. The issue of state media providing equal access to political parties has been widely discussed in Dominica.
We agree that the state-owned entities shall cover all political parties, including independent candidates, and give them opportunity to spread their word, to say who they are, what they offer in the country, and to provide that time equal to what the party in government would receive. We agree to that. And I think that's fair. We must not let partisanship or misinformation derail the progress we are making. This is a time for unity, a moment to demonstrate our collective commitment to the process that serves the interests of all Dominicans, regardless of our political affiliation. we should be mindful that electoral reform requires collaboration, understanding, and above all, compromise. In addressing this issue of electoral reform, we have to acknowledge that no single side will achieve all of its desired outcomes or interests. Instead, everyone involved will need to make compromises so that the final decision is fair and it puts the common good above individual preferences.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Pensioners in Dominica are set to benefit from an increase in payments effective March 2025. Executive Director of the Dominica Social Security, Janice Jajak Thomas, says every 3 years the Dominica Social Security is obligated to increase pension payments. Thomas says the institution will pay out in excess of $2.8 million in pensions.
To be seen that increase automatically applied to their pensions come 1st of March 2025. And I mean, it is coming at a hefty cost to us. That is going to cost us over $2.8 million. All right? So an additional cost to us on our pensions of $2.8 million just because of that increase to the pensions of an increase of 4.27%. And so all of the pensions will increase as a result. So even our minimum pensions will now increase, which will move from $76.81 a week to $80.10 a week. The highest increase we've ever applied to pensions in recent years. But that is a recommendation that was made in a review. It went into law. SRO 12 of 2007 that makes it possible that every 3 years we have to put an increase on our pensions in payments. So the last increase was done in 2022, and then the next increase is due from the 1st of March 2025, and that increase is going to be 4.27%.
And as Director of the Dominica Social Security, Janice Jajak Thomas, speaking on the DBS Talking Point program yesterday. A leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, says he has written to Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit raising concerns over 3 electoral reform bills which are to be passed in Parliament in the first quarter of this year. Dr. Fontaine addressed a press conference of the UWP yesterday.
We wrote to the Honorable Prime Minister on the 13th of January outlining the shortcomings that we saw in the legislation and making some very positive recommendations to fixing those deficiencies in the existing proposed legislation. So I'm going to read for you at this time the letter that we addressed to the Honorable Prime Minister because it certainly is the position of our party. Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, electoral reform legislation introduced to Parliament. We have reviewed the bills for the Electoral Commission Act, the revised House of Assembly's Elections Act, and the revised Registration of Electors Act, which were introduced in Parliament on December 16, 2024, intended to give effect to the long-awaited reform of our electoral process. The United Workers' Party believes that the reforms to be facilitated by the proposed election laws are inadequate and do not go far enough in ensuring fair, free, and credible elections in Dominica. We are therefore requesting an urgent meeting with you at your earliest convenience to discuss our concerns and to present formally our recommendations to amend the proposed laws in the interest of ensuring that they effectively meet the heightened public expectations of genuine electoral reform.
And that's the leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Dr. Fontaine says his party will embark on a series of electoral reform meetings starting next week.
Let me assure the Dominican public that as a party, we will not stand idly by and see this particular piece of legislation go unopposed. We'll continue to do what is necessary. We'll continue to do what we think is important to ensure that this is done. So whilst we will not disclose at this point what we plan to do in the future, but just be assured, we will not rest, we will not relent until and unless this legislation is corrected. This is a struggle, Dominica, that must be waged. And this is a battle that must be won. As part of our efforts to bring to the attention of the public what we are proposing and what is in the legislation, we'll be having a series of town hall meetings across Dominica beginning next Tuesday. So for those of you in the Roseau area, you're invited at 6 o'clock at the PSU building on Valley Road, where we will begin those discussions with you on electoral reform. Beyond that, we'll move the next few weeks to Marigot, to Cassibruce, and to St. Joseph, with others to follow. But just to let you know that we are taking this very seriously, and we expect that you will come out with your questions, with your concerns, but more importantly, with your support.
The leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, meantime Deputy Leader Senator Delbert Paris, says the 3 electoral reform bills need to be reviewed.
There are certain criteria of eligibility that gets you on and off a voter's list. Why is that important? Because we want to make sure that the people who are participating in selecting representatives understand why, and it affects them too. So it's not about disenfranchising anyone, but it is ensuring that those who are exercising the franchise have skin in the game. They live here. The laws that will be passed here in the Parliament affect them directly. That is why a clean voters list is important. The issue of ID cards and using biometrics. We understand the importance of biometrics, but why do we need biometrics in a voting system, as we see around the world? Again, to ensure that the people participating in the process are who they say they are. And we're not skewing the process unfairly by voting twice and conducting other fraudulent activity during the voting process, because it will affect the way we live our lives the following day. Campaign finance reform. Why is it important to the ordinary Dominican? It is important because if our elections are available to big money interests, it disenfranchises an entire population. Because likely the people who will be selected will have big money interests at the forefront of their priority list, as opposed to the needs of the people. We could go on. There are a number of points of the legislation that are of contention, but these 3 areas I wanted to touch on them.
And that was Senator Delbert Paris, Deputy Leader of the United Workers' Party. Shodong Mass Camp is promising authentic local calypsos as they begin the 2025 season at the Paradise Pier this evening from 8:30. Darrell Bob is an executive member of the Shodong Mass Camp.
So Shodong Mass Camp continues its journey in delivering a service to Calypsonians by providing them with a platform to share their expressions with the public and provide the public with events that they can come to and enjoy authentic Dominican calypso in a comfortable and safe environment. This year, the Shodong Mass Camp will host at least 9 events that will commence this Friday at the Paradise Pier. Whenever I use that name, persons ask, where is that? Well, it's the venue that hosts the ever-popular reggae on the boardwalk, and that is being rebranded to be called the Paradise Pier on Lale Coco in Loubier, and that'll be from 8:30 p.m. this Friday. Patrons can expect to enjoy live deliveries by Calypsonians such as the Lady S, Lulu, the Triumph, Mask Eruption, the Soul Puss. You have Checo, who has released a beautiful song this week that has seemed to be making the #1 waves. It's the home of the King Dice, myself, Bob. We pride ourselves on the quality of our calypsos, where we remain true to calypso as it is meant to be the voice of the people. So this Friday, the 24th, commences at the Paradise Pier. On Sunday, January 26th, we hope to do something for children, where we will have an afternoon show from like 3 o'clock, since our new venue allows us access to the beach in Loubier. So we're going to try something interesting on Sundays.
So that's the Darrell Bob of the Shodong Mass Camp. Shodong Mass Camp gets underway tonight. Also tonight in the city of Roseau is Pan in the City, and that's among the activities for Mass Dominic 2025 that gets underway later today. Acting Chief Cultural Officer Erlson Matthew says the activity will pay tribute to steel pan legends who helped shape the art form.
So the format for Pan in the City 2025 will be a steel pan group on that same trailer on the bayfront Friday at 6 p.m. That's tomorrow. And that'll be a nice after-work line. But here's where it gets even more interesting. We've never shied away from mixing the contemporary elements with our traditional culture. So Pan in Harmony, one of our most popular steel pan groups, will be backing up some of our popular bouillon artists. So imagine Shelly, Kwan, Little Boy performing their hits backed by steel pan music. And that's a real moment. Real REEL moment. We also have DJ Shyster. And of course, what is the point of having a truck on the road and it doesn't move? So here's the plot twist. We'll proceed north on the bayfront and onto Kennedy Avenue, and we will end at the former residence of Pan legend Wilfred Paltrow John Baptist, and that is near Bulletin and Company. For those in tune with what's happening on the ground, near the big step, not the Piper step, but the big step. And this year's event is in tribute to steel pan legends Eddie Andre, Alan John Baptist, and Pancho, who I just mentioned.
And that's the Acting Chief Cultural Officer, Erlson Matthew. In news from the region this morning, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says gangs in Haiti could overrun the capital Port-au-Prince, leading to a complete breakdown of government authority if they don't get additional international support for the Haitian National Police. Well, the UN chief says further delays in providing the police with additional officers for the multinational force will carry the risk of a catastrophic collapse of national security institutions. Kenya is leading the multinational police force, and 217 additional officers arrived over the weekend, bringing its total deployment to more than 600. In addition, 150 Guatemalans and an advance team of 8 from El Salvador have also arrived, but the force remains far below its anticipated strength of 2,500 officers. And on the international scene, the U.S. President Donald Trump has pardoned 23 anti-abortion activists, including some convicted of blockading a reproductive health clinic and intimidating staff and patients. Meanwhile, a U.S. judge has temporarily blocked Donald Trump's order to change birthright citizenship, which was slated to take effect in February. Donald Trump has also ordered the declassification of files relating to the deaths of John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. as part of another flurry of executive orders. Well, that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is throwing his support behind electoral reform proposals for state entities to provide coverage to all political parties and independent candidates. The United Nations chief warns gangs could overrun Haiti's capital without additional support, and the U.S. President Donald Trump issues some more pardons. Well, that's the news. Stay tuned for sports.
Not only does it make your white the cleanest and brightest, the benefits of using Clean and White bleach are endless. The sterilizing property of Clean and White bleach is beneficial for several household purposes. Clean and White bleach has the ability to remove mold and mildew from hard surfaces, serve as a disinfectant for household items like your kitchen and bathroom area, and even your baby's toys. Clean and White bleach is available in various sizes at Fine Food. Call 617-6342 or order on Click and Collect your Clean and White bleach today. Clean and White bleach available at Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
The National Bank of Dominica Board of Directors invites all shareholders to Cocktails and Calypso, the annual Shareholders Forum, Thursday, January 30th, 2025 at the Fort Young Hotel. Get informed, understanding the annual report and financial statements by facilitator Dr. Robertine Chatterton. Pre-registration is required for shareholders attending the forum online. Visit nbddominica.com or NBD's social media platform for registration links and instructions. Join us as we mix business insights with vibrant culture. NBD's Cocktails and Calypso, the annual Shareholders Forum 2025.
Well, welcome to the Morning Sports. Let's kick off with football news. DSFC are through to the finals of the DFA Division 1 League as they got past the Do It Center Mighty Avengers in the continuation of their semi-final match last night at the DFA Technical Center. Well, there was a lot of controversy heading into last night's match, which had originally ended prematurely back in November with the scores at 1-1 because of a bottle throwing incident. DSFC had to resume the match with 10 players last night, and they got onto the score sheet first to take the 2-1 lead in the second half. Well, the Mighty Avengers, they managed to equalize soon after. Things got heated again when a DSFC player received a red card for retaliation to a tackle, and DFC were down to 9 players. But the Mighty Avengers, they couldn't take advantage. The scores remained 2-2 at the end of regulation and at the end of the 30 minutes extra time. And we had Jaron Myers and Brandon Weeks converting for the Do It Center Mighty Avengers, while Nixon Paquette and Jante Kazimi scored for the DSFC team. It boiled down to the penalties, and DFC took that 3-2 to advance to Sunday's final, while DSFC coach is Kunta Charles.
When we came there emotional because we know we are against everybody. We know how we're going to be. One thing we know, we want to win. My boys want to win because they know what are against them. They know what we're fighting. Nixon got a red card that I feel that could be handled better because it's a semi-final match, it's a knockout match. The referees and them can do better, but listen, my boys and them, boy, they can bring them in Afghanistan and fight war. Whoa, I love them fellas. I love everything about that team.
Kunta, you're down to 9 men. Just talk me through what was the game plan at that point in time, because you had over 40 minutes to defend with 9 men.
Okay, so as soon as our player got the red card from the original game, we knew how the situation would be. So obviously we had to move from our original formation and switch it up. We went with one striker on top and everybody else. When that second red card happened in this game, now we knew all odds against us, and if we don't defend our goal, we're definitely going to lose. So now my players, actually that decision wasn't mine, because I was telling the players how I feel they should be. And the players told me, yo, we're going 5-3.
We don't worry about nothing else. 8 man outside, 8 man running.
Let's talk about the finals now on Sunday. You will have some players short, some guys are suspended and whatnot. Let's talk me through how you guys going to be prepared for Sunday.
Rice man, we without guys right here, and we show you what we can do. You think Sunday we are afraid when we come in if 11? Rice man, this boy is there, but you know resilience. What the Prime Minister always talking about resilience, he talking about us. He talking about DS. My boys are them resilient. Nothing the FA can do can hold us down. Referees, everybody, red card, all kind of thing, ban, all kind of thing, apologize, all kind of thing. But we go in and we won that trophy because we deserve it for 3 years now.
And that's the DSFC coach, Kunta Charles. Well, meantime, Do It Center coach, does the Do It Center Mighty Avengers coach, Karim Regis, says it was a heartbreaking defeat.
Well, as I was telling the team in the preparation for the third iteration of this game, DS being down a man, being suspended, they were like a wounded animal, and wounded animals come out ready to die, and that's what happened. DS come out ready to die to prove a point, and we came with a more lackadaisical attitude, thinking that we'd be able to walk over the game, and they came with their strength, and I mean, there are other little factors that would go into it, but at the end of the day, my team doesn't have a reason to have a one-man advantage to start the game. DS receive a second red card, a two-man advantage, and playing an entire half an hour without being able to score a goal. That's unacceptable, and as I told the guys, even if we did win the penalty shootout, that's not the kind of football we want to play, and that's not the sign of a team ready for Premier. We might be ready in terms of skill level and talent, but we're not ready in terms of the mentality. And if that's the wake-up call that we need, then so be it.
How do you motivate the guys for Sunday's game? I mean, there's still something to play for, third place and some prize money.
Sunday, just let the guys know that they have to come out and show that they worth something. And I mean, as I tell the guys, I've seen us play better football against 11 men. I've seen us play better football where we have 10 men, where we get a red card and we play against 11 men and we play better football. So now we have an opportunity to come and show the kind of football and show the fans and the well-wishers that we're able to succeed, and Sunday's game will just be the starting of the preseason for us to get ready for next year and another opportunity at the big time.
And that's the Do It Center Mighty Avengers head coach Karim Regis. Well, DSFC will meet St. Joseph FC in the finals on Sunday, while Do It Center Mighty Avengers will play the RC Doctors in the third place match. Some more football news. Well, the sports division's National Bank of Dominica Primary Schools football tournament will get underway this morning. Sports officer Don Leogal has more.
The first category of the 2025 Sports Division National Bank of Dominica sponsored primary school football competition will begin today in the Division 1. 4 schools will participate in the Valley Central Zone. They are St. Mary's Primary, Convent Preparatory School, Goodwill Primary School, and the Roseau Primary School. They will all vie for qualifying spots to the next round. There will be a short opening ceremony which will begin at 11 a.m. on the Newton Savannah. Brief remarks are expected from the sports coordinator, the representative of the sponsor National Bank of Dominica, the parliamentary representative for the Roseau Sol constituency, and the Minister of Sports. Immediately following the opening ceremony, the games will begin. Roosevelt Douglas Primary are the defending champions of the Division 1 competition.
And that's sports officer Don Leogal. Meantime, the secondary schools under 20 cricket championships bowls off this morning. This year, 8 schools are participating in the competition in 2 zones. The participating schools are the Dominica Grammar School, the Portsmouth Secondary School, the Goodwill Secondary School, Castlebridge Secondary School, Pierre Charles Secondary School, the Northeast Comprehensive, the Dominica State College, and the Academic School of Learning. Well, the competition gets underway this morning with the Northeast Comprehensive taking on the Castlebridge Secondary School, and that match will be taking place at the Londonderry playing field. The Dominica State College, well, they are the defending champions. There's also netball on today with 4 matches on the cards. At the Marigot Hard Courts, we will see the Northeast Comprehensive B team taking on the Goodwill Secondary School in the under-16 division. That game will be followed by a match between the Goodwill Secondary School and the Northeast Comprehensive team in the under-20 division. And at Windsor Park this afternoon, the defending champions, the Convent High School, will battle the Portsmouth Secondary School in the under-16 division, and the 2 schools will meet again in the under-20 division. The Convent High School, also the defending champions in the under-20 division. Let's go back to some football news as the Dominica Football Association has convened a talent identification festival for players between the ages of 10 and 14. Well, the first cohort of players taking part in this festival are from Massac down to the south of the island. DFA Technical Director Jerome Badwell says this is aimed at creating more engagement for young footballers.
We have convened a festival for players of the ages 10 to 14 in a particular locality from the Massac down to the south. We are presently in the process of finding talent. We call it talent identification. Remember, our Regional Training Center program is a program designed to prepare the best of our talent, because the first instance that we as an FA will be entering competition on the regional stages on the under 14 level. Our plan is really to prepare these players, a 2-year program. We'll prepare these players to develop their technical skills so that we have competent persons going into the competition. So this year basically is an opportunity to identify the boys and the girls in that region, and we are hoping that we will be able to identify the best among them, because we want to be able to select them and place them in an elite program where we can continue the training for them with qualified coaches and with a program that is designed to improve their technical and tactical competence.
And that's the DFA Technical Director, Jerome Badwell, bringing us to the end of the DBS Morning Sports Report. Of course, we'll have some more sporting highlights for you during the course of the day, and more, of course, at 1:28 during the 13:15 news. Until then, I'm Gavin Richards saying good morning.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
The National Bank of Dominica Board of Directors invites all shareholders to Cocktails and Calypso, the annual Shareholders Forum, Thursday, January 30th, 2025 at the Fort Young Hotel. Get informed, understanding the annual report and financial statements by facilitator Dr. Robertine Chatterton. Pre-registration is required for shareholders attending the forum online. Visit nbddominica.com or NBD's social media platform for registration links and instructions. Join us as we mix business insights with vibrant culture. NBD's Cocktails and Calypso, the annual Shareholders Forum 2025.
DBS News. Accurate, up-to-date, professional. We bring you the news of the nation via 3 newscasts, Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m. The DBS Major Morning News, 1:15 p.m. your lunchtime news bulletin, and at 6 in the evening, the DBS Evening News. Call us at 448-4302. Listen on www.dbcradio.net. Don't forget to like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/DBS Radio. Stay on top of the nation's news with your nation station, DBS. .34 is the time here on Your Nature While. Up next, we bring you your morning's weather report. Just before we do so, would like to remind you of your Kalinago sentence for today, and that's, you will not see me this week in Kalinago. That's Lishe Kuweni Aliha Marikan Bubatina. Lishe Kuweni Aliha Marikan Bubatina. You will not see me this week in Kalinago. Lishe, L-I-S-H-E with an acute accent. Kueni, K-U-E-N-I. Liha, L-I-H-A. Marikan, M-A-R-I-K-A-N. And Bubatina, B-U-B-A-T-I-N-A. Lishe Kueni, Liha Marikan Bubatina. You will not see me this week in Kalinago. Join us Monday morning, God willing, at roughly 6:47 for another edition of your Kalinago Word of the Day, brought to listeners through the kind compliments of your nation station, DBS Radio. Up next, your morning's weather report, made possible compliments the good folks of Big Edge Financial and Flow Dominica Limited.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
At this time, we greet Keisha Dubeek with this morning's weather report. Good morning.
Good morning. The weather report from the Dominican Geological Service at Douglas Charles Airport for today, Friday, January 24th, as recorded at 7 a.m. Today's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy and breezy at first, becoming increasingly cloudy and breezy with some scattered showers. Conditions at Douglas Charles Airport were cloudy. Surface winds variable at 2 knots or 4 kilometers per hour. Present temperature 23 degrees Celsius or 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Yesterday's rainfall at the Douglas Charles Airport was 4.5 millimeters, and the total rainfall for the month so far is 122.4 millimeters. The sun will set today at 6 p.m. and rise tomorrow at 6:46 a.m. The next high tide today will be at 11:01 a.m. and the next low tide will be at 6:56 p.m. The weather outlook for Dominica and the Les Antilles. Strong winds generated by high pressure system are expected to produce periods of increased cloudiness with scattered showers across the island during the next 24 hours. Breezy to windy conditions will persist across the region during the week. Moderate to rough seas are expected over the next few days, with waves expected to peak to 10 feet along the northern and eastern coastline. All sea users and people living near or traversing coastal areas are advised to be on alert and to continue taking necessary precautions. Now for the forecast for today and tonight. Synopsis. A high pressure system is a dominant feature. Forecast for today and tonight. Fair to partly cloudy and breezy at first, becoming increasingly cloudy and breezy with some scattered showers. Wind is northeasterly to easterly at 15 to 35 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. Sea conditions moderate to rough in open water with waves peaking 2 to 3 meters or 7 to 10 feet. A small craft warning and heights of advisory are in effect. For updated information on weather conditions, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call 266-4490 for further information. Like our Facebook page, Dominica Meteorological Service. Follow us on Instagram at Dominica Met. Follow WhatsApp channel 618-3469. Reporting of Douglas Charles, Airport Kisha Dubiku.
And we thank Keisha Dubik for this morning's weather report, made possible compliments the good folks of Flow Dominica Limited and Big Edge Financial.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trials to face. At least when it comes to your waning finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got Big Edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. Big Edge, the cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Big Edge, cash in a flash.
Make weather information a part of your daily life. Listen to the weather report after the morning news and at 1:10 p.m. daily on DBS Radio. A message from the Dominica Meteorological Service, your trusted source for weather information.
This is DBS Radio.
20 minutes before 8. Up next, represent the general announcements and what's on your community bulletin board. Made possible compliments Valley Engineering Sales and Services and the Central Cooperative Credit Union.
Central Cooperative Credit Union is encouraging all members to update their accounts. Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government-issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID. Proof of address, reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you.
And now, your community bulletin board.
Applications are invited from suitably qualified individuals for the position of Director of Security at the Dominica Air and Seaports Authority. Requirements: a BSc in Criminal Justice Preferred and or diploma from a recognized police training academy with supplemental courses in law enforcement. Minimum of 10 years experience in law enforcement or a related field. Training and or experience in law enforcement. Strong oral and written communication skills. A mature individual who demonstrates a high level of integrity and discipline. Core functions: the Director of Security is responsible for coaching, managing, and ensuring the training of personnel who provide frontline security and protection of air and sea travelers, airports and seaports in keeping with the relevant protocols and legislation, and any other properties under the control of the authority. Remuneration and conditions of recruitment. An attractive remuneration package will be offered. The position will be contractual for 2 years in the first instance, subject to renewal based on performance. Application should be sent under confidential cover to the General Manager of DASPA. Application should be sent under confidential cover as well as email to the General Manager, Dominica Air and Seaports Authority, Rosso Dominica, email DASPA CEO@daspa.dm.